Now to the crisis looming over City Hall. Last week, Mayor Eric Adams pleaded not guilty to federal corruption charges. Meanwhile, the mayor's chief advisor is being looked into by the feds. Federal investigators on Friday. Ingrid Lewis Martin was met at the airport by federal officials with a subpoena. State investigators seized her cell phone and her Brooklyn home was raided.
The raid on Miss Lewis Martin comes after multiple high-ranking Adams administration officials had their home searched and devices seized. Joining us now on what to expect this week in the mayor's corruption case, former chief of the public corruption unit at the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office, current partner at Covington and Burlington, Arlo Devlin-Brown. Nice to have you back, Arlo.
Good morning.
So let's talk a little bit about the case, because one of the stipulations that the mayor was given when he was brought in and arraigned on Friday on his corruption trial was that he could not, or he had to limit conversations with the people on his staff. How do you conduct business if you can't talk to the people on your staff?
Yeah, well, he's going to obviously have to be able to talk to them to the extent it relates to city business, and the prosecutors, can't stop him from doing that. But yeah, it's a really hard thing to draw a line because it's just totally natural. This is like the biggest thing going on in his life and the lives of a lot of people involved, so it's really hard to draw that line.
So, I mean, do we have any idea what they're looking for? Because it seems like, well, the charges were filed and it seemed kind of tidy and neat and tied up, right? But apparently, it looks like the feds are still investigating.
Yeah, the feds never stop investigating. They are going to investigate until the day of trial.
Really?
Yeah, on the existing charges, but also if any of these other investigations end up adding counts to Mayor Adams, they're going to bring those counts.
We talk about Ingrid Lewis Martin, who has been with the mayor for decades now, and obviously is a very strong figure within City Hall. Her home being raided, her cell phone being seized. What did you make of that?
Well, it's so hard to know because, as you've been reporting, there's so many investigations impacting the city right now. Which one of these, if any, that one reaches, it's hard to know. But no matter what the investigation is, if there's a connection to Mayor Adams, I do think the feds are going to pull hard at any strings there and see if they lead to additional evidence against him.
So if they're looking at her, because they've been doing this for months now. I mean, they could have theoretically come and taken her phone or gone into her house months ago, as they were doing with some of the other officials. But to do it now, after the charges were already filed and the mayor has already made his first court appearance, what does that say?
Well, to seize someone's phone or to go raid their house, you have to have what's called probable cause. You have to persuade a judge that on that phone or in that house is evidence of a crime. So each time they look at someone's phone, they find leads that maybe give them probable cause to take another person's phone. Or each time a witness comes forward, they may get evidence that allows them to go to a judge and expand it. So I think you're going to keep seeing things like this.
All right, let's talk about the governor, because she's in a very precarious situation. Does she ask the mayor to step aside while he is under investigation? Or does she keep him at his job? And it could have political implications for her as well.
Yeah, political implications, legal implications too, because this has never been done. I mean, it's possible to do it, but no one likes to test something that's never been done. My guess is people are going to put their finger in the air a little bit this week and see which way the wind is blowing, because there are a lot of complicated political decisions.
Well, Nancy Pelosi just a few weeks ago had a lot to say about our governor, right? Mm-hmm. She said that basically she blew the house with what happened here with the elections in New York City, in New York, in the New York area. I mean, could this have implications all the way to D.C.? Could it affect the presidential race?
I mean, it's hard to see how it affects the presidential race, just given that New York is so likely to be in the blue camp. But it is a political mess, and I think the governor is in a bit of a, you can't win situation. No matter what she does, someone's going to be unhappy. So she may just give statements expressing her views, but not actually pull any kind of trigger.
A bit of a mess, no doubt about it. And one of the other headlines this week was that the former education commissioner, David Banks, as well as one of the top deputies, Sheena Wright, who are together, got married. Mm-hmm. And some people have speculated about the timing. Whether or not this was the situation with the timing, if these two are married, and we know that they are both theoretically under investigation, how does people say you can't testify against each other if you're a husband and wife? Maybe that's part of the timing. What did you think about that aspect of it?
Yeah, well, one fun fact is actually a husband and wife can testify against each other if they want to, but they can't be forced to.
So in other words, a judge can, or the prosecution can't sort of, force you to testify against your spouse.
Exactly. They're totally protected from that. That would be a terrible reason to get married, but they're totally protected as something that happens when you're married.
Arlo Devlin-Brown, thank you so much for kind of helping us digest this information. It's still, quite new and shocking for New York, and we're hoping for the best for our city. So,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.